Hi all, this is Skate, and this is the AMX 1357, the new Tier 7 French light tank to arrive in World of Tanks Blitz. Now, I got back off my travels, and I saw the Lorraine 40T, and I saw the AMX 13. I'm gonna say 75, guaranteed in this video. I'm gonna call it an AMX 1375. So if I do, you know I'm on about the AMX 1357, because I've said it right out of the bat. I'm guaranteed to make that mistake. But, with that in mind, the AMX 1357, when I got back off my travels, was one of the newest tanks available in the game, along with the FV4201, which I did pick up, and I'm going to try and get a video done on that, and also, like I said, the Lorraine 40T. But then I saw the price. Damn, that Lorraine was expensive, wasn't it? And I made a video pretty much saying I like the tank, but I'm not going to buy it at that price. And then I saw this at 10,000, and I thought, 10,000's a hell of a whack for a Tier 7 light tank. Honestly, do you know what went in the back of my head? Well, at least it's not in a crate skate. That's literally in the back of my head. That's the first thing I thought. So I bought it. And I'm glad I did. It's a fun little tank. It's a challenging tank. It's an annoying tank. It's an average tank, but it's got something, and it gives me something not a lot of tanks in World of Tanks Blitz can give, and that's that sheer auto-loading giggle fun. Because yes, we have auto-loaders in Blitz, but we don't have many which have more than 3, maybe 4 in some circumstances, but not many shells at all. 87, yeah, you can run it with the 10 clip, but it's not the same, is it? So with that in mind, I got this thing so I could play this sort of style. I could run in, unload a clip, and get out of there. Which kind of leads to a few problems with the AMX 1357. It doesn't really have tremendous damage per clip. And it only does 90 damage. It's got, I would personally refer to it as some subpar penetration. As in, it penetrates, it does the job, but as soon as you get up to something like a Tier 8 heavy, especially if it's an IS, oh, you're really going to start struggling unless you can get around that butt. Now, we are working a circle of death on this lurver right now, and I'm willing to guarantee that the driver of that lurver is not happy. Which leads me to be happy. Let's be fair. Circling something like that is very good fun. Mobility in terms of traverse speed, you're only just managing it against one of those tanks. As you can see, his gun was catching me, so ideally in an ideal world what we're looking to do with this tank is get that clip in and then get out of there and then get back in when it reloads again. But that's not the sole purpose of a light tank, especially one with an autoloader. If you look at this screen, I'm not the top on damage, but I'm way up on XP. And that's not because of my damage, that's my spotting. I have more spotting damage in that game than I do actual damage. I got 2,000 damage, 2,300 plus spotting damage. And although we spotted 4 enemies in that game, it's probably not all spotting damage. Because again, one of the joys of an autoloader is also annoying the hell into people and taking their track off when they repair it, take their track off, when they repair it, take their track off, and clip and repeat. And I like that playstyle an awful lot, but I also like the playstyle of being able to be a light tank, which means getting up there early, spotting for my team, and getting back into cover or reappearing somewhere else, magically almost, because you just disappear off the map and then magically pop up with a nice full clip, ready to go, ready to annoy them after spotting them up early for your team. And this map is going to be a perfect example of it. I'm going to go to probably one of my favourite spotting positions on this map. And the reason it's one of my favourite is because I can spot very early and I can spot a lot of targets. And I quite often get a good scout or patrol duties in this position because you light up so many tanks. So why is that a problem with the AMX 1357? I think it's common knowledge by now. Well, it's got the camo of a TOG. Well, it feels that way anyway. It doesn't have its light camo on the move. Now, I've asked Wargaming, is this a bug? Is this the new thing for lights? I don't know. We haven't had an answer back. As it stands, being as it's the case with every other light tank in the game, I'm going to assume it's a bug, just like it was with the back chat, or unintended, so to speak. Especially as, well, it's a light tank, that's kind of its job. And that's a big, big, big negative, and that's a massive downer for this tank, because you struggle to play the light tank role solely because you're going to get spotted anytime you pop up in front of things. Hell, you can get spotted by tier 6 heavies before you spot them. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's true. And it's annoying. And that's the biggest negative to this tank. And although there's no confirmation that it's a problem, it is a problem though, let's be fair. But although there's no official confirmation that this is going to be repaired, I'm assuming at this point in time it is. If it's not, I won't be a happy skate, and I will be quite honest about that, because it's a light tank. I bought it as a light tank. If it was listed as, hey, here's a light tank with new camo, I would probably reconsider it. But it's a very small tank. All of the AMX line has amazing camo values and is really, really good fun at being a light tank. This, on the other hand, it really needs that light tank camo magic. It really does. So I'm hoping Wargaming fix and update that, and I'm assuming that they're going to. That's the only assumption I can realistically make at this point in time. So that's the assumption I'm going with for now, and I'm hoping a month down the line this tank is going to be even better than it is now. Because at the moment, it is, in my opinion, quite an average tank. But that doesn't mean it's not fun, and that doesn't mean it's not good. Because personally, I really, really like this tank. I adore the playstyle. I love light tank playstyle, and I love autoloaders. Give me a little auto-loading light tank like the AMX line. I mean, look at any video I've done on the AMXs. I love that line. Even the 12T. I adore that little thing. So that was kind of the instant I'm buying this type situation. And, like I said, you've got to look at the positives. It's 10,000. But it's not in a crate. You've got to look at that as a positive. Or you'll cry the fact you just spent 10,000 on a light tank which doesn't have camo. That's a bit dramatic. It does have camo, but as soon as you start moving, you lose it. But massive, massive negative out the way. Let's talk about some positives. The traverse speed is very good. I commented on it earlier that it's just enough to get around tier 10 heavies. Tier 8 heavies. Which is right. You are going to struggle to do a perfect circle of death on something which isn't turretless. But you can definitely do it, especially if you're doing your clip and then getting out of there as quick as you can. It's also very, very good in supremacy. In this circumstances, we were tanks down, and I managed to use the mobility of this thing to take base A off them. Now, taking base A off them has allowed me pretty much, that was an awful shot, I know, but it's allowed me to slow down their capture rates, because now it's a 1-on-2, it was nearly 2-on-1, but we just managed to help out that SU. But before I start focusing on the gun, because I don't think many autoloaders would have done that as quickly. But yeah, mobility-wise, it's got 61 kilometers an hour forward, and it has a very, very nice 23 kilometers backwards, which allows you to get back into cover very quickly. It's got a great power-to-weight ratio, and it's very, very small, which makes it handy. I mean, I thought this guy had given up on trying to look at me and circle me, but he wasn't. He was trying to deal with the SU-100. All in all, for a tank like this, I think it has no issues with mobility at all. The next thing is the gun. Now, I mentioned I don't think many autoloaders would have been able to deal with that M41 as quickly. And the reason I say that is because the gun's a good news, bad news situation. The accuracy for an autoloader is pretty damn good. I mean, even without equipment, you're looking at a 0.301 gun dispersion, which is very accurate. And you don't get a huge amount of autoloaders in that sort of realm. Gun depression, just above average at 7. It's not bad, it'll catch you out sometimes, but it's certainly not something to cry about. And then 13 degrees of gun elevation. Only 1 second between each shell, although I noticed that the new tank, the autoloading Halloween tier 7, has 0.67 between each shell. It'd be nice if this had that. It would be, but it's only got 1, and it's not too bad. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't have even cared unless I saw that that had 0.67. But it does. And I did see that. And we'll all see that. That's why I kind of went, oh, it would be nice if the AMX had that. Aside from that, 90 damage isn't something to write home about, especially at tier 7 when you're facing tier 8s. And especially when there's a T49 looking down on you. So that's why, in my opinion, it's a good news, bad news situation with the gun. It's got good accuracy for an autoloader, it's really good fun having 6 shells, but only 143mm of penetration. Now that can be really, really annoying at times, especially when you have to try and deal with, oh, I don't know, let's just say a T44-100 and a T49 as they both chase you down, because you know you're just a giant squishy target for them. I ran into that tipped over coal cart, and I'm glad I did, because I think if I kept going, he potentially would have had his shot into me, but he didn't. And I got real lucky there, and I know I got lucky, and I thankfully had some support from my team, which really saved my bacon there. So just to reiterate quickly, and just to reconfirm and clarify, the gun is good news, bad news situation. The mobility, absolutely fine and what you'd expect for a light tank. And the camo value when you're moving absolutely sucks. So aside from that camo thing, why am I still content with my purchase? It's fun. And every single game feels exciting and challenging. If I'm driving a tier 8 IS5, not every game feels exciting. Some games feel like an absolute walk in the park. Some games feel boring. In this, every single game you're on the edge of your seat. Every single game you're concentrating on trying to get 6 entire shells into something without getting something in return. And you're constantly worried about getting nailed by something with a big derpy gun, or pretty much anything which shoots at you. And that makes it exciting, and that makes it fun. Because it's not all about the damage, always. It doesn't matter if you can... I come out of so many games in this tank where I've done like 1,000 damage. Hell, I've come out of games where I've done less. And I still felt like I had a good game. Yeah, I know that sounds strange, but I feel like I was useful to my team. Running in, putting a shell into something, putting 6 shells into something, and then possibly doing a bit of a circle, a bit of a jive around them. It's distracting, it's annoying, and it helps the team. And spotting because you're a light tank, although it's challenging with this because of the camo, just to reiterate, but all those things make it helpful. Yeah, it's not going to be something you want if you care solely about damage, but if you care about gameplay, and having fun in every game being like on the edge of your seats, then this is the sort of gameplay you're looking for. Although, like I said, it is challenging. But challenging does mean rewarding. I mean, okay, let's be realistic. Take that situation earlier in this exact replay. I was being chased by a T44-100, and I was being chased by a T49, which could have caused me a whole host of pain. My team came in and helped me and dealt with those tanks. Do you think they were there trying to help me? Or do you think they saw tanks which were distracted and capitalized on that easy pickings? That's nothing that's nothing to do with not having faith in people, by the way. That's down to, this is World of Tanks Blitz. Some people are too scared to get stuck in, some people don't care unless they can get damage out of it, some people don't want to receive any damage whatsoever. And they won't help you for that reason. But if they're distracted, that's a different story, because they're not going to get shot at in return. Yeah, it can backfire and you can have a horrible situation where you get annihilated as a result. But you'll find if a tank is distracted, that's when your team will shoot at it, because they know they're going to keep their precious hit points. And that is the exact reason I love my little AMX 1357, and I'll love it more when they fix the camo. Because it's not just about trying to do as much damage as you can possibly take yourself. It's about being a distraction, it's about having fun with a 6-shell autoloader. And it's about just being a nutter in a little tank and spotting and helping the team. Yeah, they may not want to help you, but they'll inadvertently help you by trying to do something selfish, like I mentioned earlier. It kind of works. It sounds strange, but it works. So yeah, I'm surprised I'm saying this. It cost me 10,000 gold, which I think is very steep for a tier 7 light. but I'm glad I bought it. I've enjoyed it, I'm going to continue enjoying it, and thus, it's a good buy. I'm not buying win rate with it, I'm not buying damage with it, I'm not buying survivability with it, I'm just buying some gameplay and some fun and a challenge. And that's why I'm glad I got it. But that is it for this video. I hope you have all enjoyed it, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.